12 best and simplest tips for you to gain muscle. Number 12. Strengthen yourself with compound exercises. First of all, compound exercises recruit a large amount of muscle mass in a single movement, which results in greater overload on the muscles and, consequently, a greater growth response. This means you can work more muscles in less time, which is especially advantageous for those with a busy schedule who want to maximize training efficiency. Additionally, compound exercises stimulate the release of anabolic hormones, such as testosterone and growth hormone, which are essential for protein synthesis and muscle growth. Movements like squats, deadlifts, and bench presses involve large muscle groups, leading to a more robust hormonal response compared to isolated exercises. Another advantage of compound exercises is that they promote greater stability and coordination, as they require the activation of multiple joints and stabilizing muscles. This not only improves performance in the compound exercises themselves, but can also increase functional strength and reduce the risk of injuries in daily activities. Number 11. Aim to get close to muscle failure. When you train to muscle failure, you ensure that your muscles are being pushed to the max in every set. This means you're recruiting as many muscle fibers as possible and stimulating them to adapt and grow to handle the overload imposed by training. Additionally, reaching muscle failure indicates that you're working near your capacity limit, which is a powerful stimulus for muscle growth. By hitting failure, you're pushing your muscles beyond their previous limits, forcing them to adapt and become stronger and bigger as a result. It's like telling your muscle that it can't lift a certain weight and needs to get stronger to do so. But remember, reaching failure all the time isn't necessary for every set of every exercise. This can lead to excessive fatigue and increase the risk of injuries. Number 10. Incorporate more healthy fats and proteins into your diet. We all know that carbohydrates play a crucial role in the muscle-building process, but we must not forget the importance of proteins and fats. The fats found in food provide a feeling of satiety for longer periods and are often associated with a more pronounced flavor. However, it's essential to choose sources of healthy fats. These include omega-3 rich fish like salmon, nuts, avocado, eggs, olive oil, and dark chocolate. In addition to being sources of healthy fats, many of these foods are also rich in protein, which is beneficial for muscle building and recovery. Therefore, increasing the consumption of these foods can speed up weight and muscle mass gain. According to some experts, to promote muscle protein synthesis and maintain adequate muscle mass, a daily intake of 0.7 to 0.9 grams of protein per pound of body weight is recommended. Number 9. Strength train more frequently. Strength training more often can help build muscle faster for several reasons. First, training more frequently allows you to stimulate your muscles more regularly, which can lead to greater muscle protein synthesis and increased hypertrophy. When you train the same muscle groups multiple times per week, you provide more opportunities for them to repair and grow. Additionally, training more often allows you to distribute the total training volume more evenly throughout the week. This means you can perform a higher workload for each muscle group without overloading your body in a single training session. This can lead to greater progressive overload over time, which is essential for continuous muscle growth. A study supporting the idea that training more frequently can lead to faster muscle gains was conducted in 2016 by Schoenfeld et al. In this study, researchers compared the effects of training muscles twice a week versus 3 times a week on muscle hypertrophy. Participants were divided into 2 groups. One group performed full-body workouts 3 times a week, while the other group did the same workouts twice a week. After 8 weeks, results showed that the group that trained 3 times per week experienced greater increases in muscle mass compared to the group that trained twice per week. Number 8. Focus on proper execution. You definitely know that person who goes to the gym just to feed their ego, always trying to lift more weight than they should with terrible form. When you focus on proper execution, you maximize muscle recruitment and minimize the risk of injuries. Poorly executed movements can result in an uneven distribution of load between the target muscles and accessory muscles, which can limit the effective stimulus on the muscle groups you're trying to develop. Additionally, incorrect exercise execution can overload joints and connective tissues, increasing the risk of injuries that can set back your progress in the gym. Instead of focusing on how much weight you're lifting, It's more effective to focus on movement quality and the mind-muscle connection. This means controlling both the eccentric and concentric phases of the movement, maintaining good posture, and using a full range of motion to ensure the target muscles are being properly stimulated. Remember, no one is going to think you're a better person just because you lift heavier weights. In fact, if you're doing everything wrong just to load up more weight, people will probably just talk about how much of a clown you're being. Number 7. Reduce the amount of cardio. When you do excessive cardiovascular training, it can negatively interfere with your muscle-gaining goals. Too much cardio can increase calorie expenditure, making it harder to maintain the caloric surplus needed for muscle growth. Additionally, intense cardiovascular exercises, such as long-distance running, can activate metabolic pathways that compete with those responsible for muscle protein synthesis, reducing the body's ability to build muscle. This can result in slower progress in muscle hypertrophy. Therefore, by reducing the amount of cardio, you can direct more energy and resources towards strength training and muscle recovery, leading to faster and more effective muscle gains. This doesn't mean completely eliminating cardio, but rather balancing its amount and intensity with your muscle-building goals, prioritizing strength training as your main form of exercise. Number 6. Maintain a caloric surplus diet. Focusing on a caloric surplus instead of a deficit is essential for faster muscle growth because your body needs extra energy to repair and build new muscle tissue after exercise. When you're in a caloric surplus, you're providing your body with more calories than it needs to maintain your current weight. Most people just eat random amounts of food at random times. How do you expect to gain muscle if you don't even know whether you're eating more or less than your body burns daily? That's basically why bodybuilders weigh everything they eat, to have control over the macronutrients in their diet. These additional calories provide the necessary energy to support muscle protein synthesis, the process through which muscles repair and grow after being damaged during training. A study proving the importance of a caloric surplus for muscle building was conducted in 2013 by Garth et al. Researchers investigated the difference in muscle mass gain between two groups of athletes. The study worked as follows. Participants were divided into two groups, with one group consuming enough calories to be above their daily energy needs, and the other group consuming calories in a neutral balance to maintain their weight. Both groups followed an identical strength training program. By the end of the study, those in a caloric surplus not only gained more muscle mass, but also showed greater increases in strength compared to the neutral balance group. This study made it very clear that adequate caloric intake is crucial to providing the fuel necessary for muscle hypertrophy and maximizing strength training results. So, if your goal is to build muscle quickly, your mission now is to visit a nutritionist at least once. Find out your basal metabolic rate, which is how many calories your body burns daily just to perform basic functions, and add your daily expenditure, including training and other physical activities. Once this number is determined, the nutritionist will give you a diet with a daily caloric intake higher than that number, putting you in a caloric surplus to support your muscle gains. Number 5. Consume protein in every meal. Consuming protein in all your meals throughout the day, instead of concentrating it in just a few, can help build muscle faster due to the continuous effect protein has on muscle protein synthesis, MPS. MPS is the process by which the body repairs and builds new muscle fibers, and it is maximized when there is a constant availability of amino acids, the building blocks of protein, in the body. When you distribute protein intake throughout the day, you maintain a steady flow of amino acids in your bloodstream, which can promote MPS more effectively and consistently. This is especially important because MPS has a saturation limit. After consuming a certain amount of protein, the body cannot use much more for immediate muscle building. Excess amino acids are used for other functions or oxidized. A study demonstrating the benefits of distributing protein intake throughout the day was conducted by Arita et al. In 2013. In this study, researchers investigated how different protein consumption patterns affected MPS over a 12-hour period. Participants were divided into 3 groups. One group consumed 80 grams of protein in 2 large meals of 40 grams each. Another group consumed the same 80 grams in 4 medium-sized meals of 20 grams each. The third group consumed 80 grams of protein spread across 8 small meals of 10 grams each. The results showed that the group that consumed protein in 4 medium-sized meals of 20 grams each had the highest MPS throughout the day compared to the other 2 groups. This is why you should never consume an extremely high amount of protein all at once. Number 4. Take casein before bed. Taking casein before bed can help build muscle faster due to its slow digesting properties, which provide a sustained release of amino acids throughout the night. Casein is a protein found in milk and is known for forming a gel in the stomach, which slows down its digestion and absorption. This results in a gradual and continuous release of amino acids into the bloodstream for several hours. During sleep, the body enters a prolonged fasting state, which can lead to muscle breakdown if there aren't enough available amino acids. Consuming casein before bed ensures that the body has a steady supply of amino acids throughout the night, helping to prevent muscle breakdown and promote muscle protein synthesis. This process is crucial for muscle repair and growth, especially after intense workouts. Additionally, consuming casein before bed can increase overnight protein synthesis, maximizing the time your body remains in an anabolic state, a muscle-building state. Number 3. Use intensity techniques to vary stimuli. These techniques aim to increase stress and overload on the muscles, triggering physiological adaptations that promote muscle growth. Eccentric training, for example, focuses on the negative phase of the movement, where the muscle lengthens under tension. This creates microtears in muscle fibers, stimulating a stronger repair and growth response. Isometric training, on the other hand, involves static muscle contraction, which challenges the muscles in a different way and can increase strength and endurance. Forced reps extend time under tension, leading to faster muscle fatigue and additional stimulation of muscle fibers. By incorporating these intensity techniques into your training, you increase the stimulus on the muscles, which can lead to more significant muscle gains in a shorter period. Additionally, these techniques can help overcome training plateaus, where progress seems to stall, by introducing new stimuli to the muscles. However, it's important to use these techniques in moderation and with proper guidance, as they can increase the risk of injury if not performed correctly. Number 2. Stay properly hydrated. Although underestimated and overlooked by many, water plays several crucial roles in the muscle-building process. First, it acts as a solvent, helping to transport essential nutrients like amino acids, vitamins, and minerals to muscle cells, where they are needed for protein synthesis and muscle growth. Imagine water as a vehicle. It facilitates the transport of everything in your body. Without a vehicle, reaching your destination becomes much harder. Additionally, water is essential for regulating body temperature during exercise, ensuring that muscles function efficiently and minimizing the risk of fatigue and injuries. During workouts, we lose water through sweat, which can lead to dehydration if not properly replenished. Dehydration can compromise muscle performance, reducing strength, endurance, and coordination, as well as slowing down post-workout recovery. It's crucial to drink water before, during, and after training to maintain proper hydration levels and optimize muscle performance. Staying hydrated throughout the day is equally important to ensure your body can effectively carry out its metabolic and physiological functions. The recommended water intake is 1 to 1.7 ounces per pound of body weight. So, if you're an 180-pound man, for example, you should aim to drink between 2.1 to 3.4 quarts per day. Number 1. Take creatine. Creatine is a compound that occurs naturally in the body and is primarily stored in the muscles, where it plays a crucial role in energy production during high-intensity, short-duration exercises like weightlifting. First, creatine increases the availability of phosphocreatine in the muscles. Phosphocreatine is used to regenerate ATP, the body's primary energy source. During intense exercises, ATP depletes quickly, and the ability to regenerate it fast allows you to maintain a high performance for longer. This means you can lift heavier weights, perform more reps, and have more intense workouts, leading to greater muscle stimulation and, consequently, more muscle growth. Additionally, creatine increases intracellular water retention in the muscles, creating an optimal environment for protein synthesis and muscle growth. This increase in cell volume can signal the body to initiate adaptation processes, including higher muscle protein synthesis and reduced muscle breakdown. Creatine also helps improve muscle recovery. With more ATP available, muscles recover faster between sets and workouts, allowing for more frequent and effective training sessions. Better recovery means less downtime due to fatigue or injuries, speeding up progress toward muscle gain. Creatine truly works wonders for us weightlifters. That's why we're now showing a video on screen highlighting the most common mistakes people make when taking creatine that completely waste the supplement. Don't miss it. Thanks for watching, and may God bless you, my friend.